Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Virgo energy, and like usual on this channel, we're going to do two rows. The top row we refer to as High Vibe Virgo energy, and the bottom row, kind of a more worldly, shadowy Virgo energy. We all have our dualistic nature. We have our more worldly, immature, prideful, egotistical, fearful, insecure, want what we want, lazy nature, self-focused nature. And in our high vibe nature, hopefully we've learned some lessons in life, and we temper our more worldly nature to act with character and integrity, and hopefully we've learned to treat other people the way we like to be treated and to be just and fair. But sometimes we have people in our life that they haven't learned some of those lessons, and those things still manipulate them. And so it kind of affects the decisions that they make in their life. And we all kind of like to hang out with people who are on the same page as us. We've all been in, because life's about learning lessons, we've all been more codependent, more fearful, caught up in things of the world that we think will make us happy. Because I think the hardest lesson to learn is to love yourself, where you get out of that more codependent energy. High vibe energy is about being independent. Virgo energy is about learning lessons in life. And so sometimes it's just that some people are going to move forward in life differently. They've healed, they've grown, they've matured in some way, looked at life differently, healed from some past pain and heartbreak, and they're kind of not the same person they were before. And when some people do that in their life, some other people in their life aren't on that same page. And sometimes that's okay. People will wish other people peace, love, and joy. Hopefully I'll get there one day, and free myself from things that manipulate me. Sometimes people don't like it. They can get mad. They can get envious. They can be jealous. They can want to backstab and betray you. But we're kind of going to cover that in the reading. The reason for the top rose reading is the key, and it's the astrology is Leo energy. We're either operating more from our kind of slightly more in favor or a lot more in favor of our egoic nature, shadowy Leo energy, or we've been illuminated to the truth. I need to learn to love myself. I need to give myself the things that I wish other people would give me, so that I don't keep staying in my ego about it, in my pain and heartbreak about it, in more codependent energy. The reason for the bottom rose reading is gift of money, which the money, the pentacle, can refer to these things of the world. We can learn to give ourselves the things that we wish other people would have given us, or we can look to the world to validate our worth and value, love us, just align with our more worldly nature. So let's go look at the bottom row first. We all tap into Virgo energy, so listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story, where some other people in your life are at in the story. We have the woman, high honor, fish, snake, and child. Let's see. So with the child card here, again, we've all been in codependent energy. We all grew up in families, and we looked outside of ourselves for people to emotionally fill our cup, to make us feel stable and secure. Looking outside of ourselves again for people to approve of us, to acknowledge us, to love us, validate our worth and value. So that's us aligning with our maybe more worldly nature. We could look at the gift of money as like an ace of pentacles, where in our earth sign energies of Pisces, Capricorn, and Taurus, we all grow up in the world. Our philosophy of life is kind of more about the world, because we really haven't come into our own we have all these lessons to learn. We're not really, haven't even maybe realized some of our unique talent, skills, and interests. And we're kind of not more independent of the world yet. That can take time to claim our independence and not let the world and other people and our ego manipulate us so much. And the woman, the feminines in tarot can talk about how we think and how we feel. And this card is indicated by Taurus. So emotionally, we're all kind of caught up in the world. There's all these things that we're driven and motivated by, that we want to invest in. Our time, energy, and effort, that's how we view life. We think we'll enjoy those things. Then we have the high honor card, which we could look at as kind of Leo energy. We all want to be victorious and successful in the world, but also in our ego, there's these things that we are sure will make us happy, and we've all got to go live our life learning these lessons. So, in our more worldly, egoic nature, we go to invest time, energy, and effort into those things. And then the fish card is Pisces energy, which does have to do with our hopes and our dreams and things that we think will be emotionally fulfilling. And we've all done that before. And when we went and did those things, we were sure we were on the right path. But the thing is, with the snake card, we have lessons to learn in life. you know, all these things that we think will make us happy because we're trying to learn all these lessons to help us get clear about what our truth is and what our truth isn't. We've got all these lessons to learn, and a lot of the things we go pursue in our life aren't going to work out the way we think, because we could have been more about ourselves, more codependent, more about indulgence, more about ego, letting our loving nature, like, oh my gosh, I love them, because Pisces is emotional water sign energy, Leo is fire sign energy, all these things that we want to go indulge in. And we have all these lessons to learn. And one of the lessons we could learn with the child card is that, we are going out there wanting other people to love us and validate our worth and value. But what about us loving us? Instead of looking outside for people to love me and validate my worth and value, how about I invest in me and I love me? So I'm not letting my more worldly, egoic, maybe immature, emotional nature run my life. Life's high vibe energy is about being balanced and not learning these lessons so we don't kind of let one, two, or three aspects of ourself run our life, like my heart run my life, or I'm defensive now to being hurt, so now I let my mind run my life, or I let my lust or my greed run my life. Our heart, our mind, our 3D world, and our creative passion nature, they're all equally important, but we have these lessons to learn in life, and sometimes we think, oh gosh, my heart's the most important thing, or oh my gosh, money or status or image is the most important thing, or indulging my lust or my greed is the most important thing. And we can all get caught up in the illusion of the world, and we can make the world more important, our ego more important, our defensive nature more important, being indulged more important. And we might know some people right now that are living their life like that, but the whole thing is we live life at a certain phase of life to learn these lessons, and if we're willing to learn the lessons, that kind of living our life that way could be blocking us from really living our authentic truth of, well, what are my dreams? And do I want more deep, meaningful relationships? Do I just want to be in relationships for the ego, the image? Do I want to just get in a job or a career field because of the money or the status? What about what really drives and motivates me at like a core foundational level? Do I have hope and faith and belief in my dreams? Am I making my life more about conforming to the world? Why am I in the jobs and friendships and relationships I'm in? Why are those people in relationships with me? What's their philosophy of life? What drives and motivates them? What's my philosophy of life? What drives and motivates me? What do I think is just and fair? What do they think is just and fair? And if we learn all those lessons in life, the snake card is the Scorpio energy. And initially, more shadowy, worldly Scorpio is about getting caught up in these things of the world and being caught up in our ego. And again, it's kind of maybe a more of a superficial, shallow life of kind of indulgence and ego and all those things. But it could stop us from really having more deep, meaningful relationships in our life, which is kind of what our inner child nature of hope and faith and belief would like. And when we're living our life like that, there's people in the world that are living their life like that and are happy we're living our life like that. And when we got in a relationship with them, we were happy they were living their life like that. Whatever it is, it can just be, I was 25, I was living like a 25-year-old. Those are the things that were important to us. But when we can be in a relationship, we can start to question, like we do, is this really my truth? When I got in it, I really did think this was my truth. But now, as more time goes by, the snake can kind of feel like maybe we're kind of confused and emotionally confused about, is this how I really want to live my life? Why are they in the relationship? Why am I in the relationship? What drives and motivates me? All those things. And then people do invest some time, energy, and effort. That's what the Pentacles can talk about. Investing hands-on kind of time, energy, and effort. And the one Pentacle is about Virgo energy, because our own Virgo nature goes within to find out the truth. To look at some of those things we didn't even know we needed to look at, or things that maybe we wanted to keep in the dark. Maybe I am more about the world. Maybe I did get caught up in my ego. Maybe I did get caught up in my lust or my greed or the illusion of love. Maybe I was more codependent, and we need to work through all those things. And then if one person does work through those things, they're not the same person that they were when they got in the relationship. It's kind of like Scorpio energy is about transforming yourself. I lived my life at a certain phase of life. When I was living my life, that's where I was at. That's how I viewed life. It was appropriate, kind of, in a way, for me to live my life that way, because that's how I viewed life. But then, as I lived my life that way, and then as time went by, it could have become kind of stagnant, kind of stale, nothing new to learn there. I've kind of learned everything I needed to learn there. I'm starting to feel confused. It's kind of like our intuition calling us to move to the next phase of life. And that is also what Scorpio energy is about. Death and transformation, kind of rebirth, kind of like my nesting dolls over there. We're age 15, then we're age 18, then we're age 21, then we're age 25. And when we go to those different phases of life, we need to detach from a way of viewing life. There were certain ways we viewed life. That's Taurus energy, our philosophy of life. There was in our ego things that we thought we would like and enjoy, and Pisces energy, things that we thought we'd enjoy, and the way we viewed life and what we thought would make us happy. It's different at each of those stages of life, just like at age 15, 18, 21, 25. And we have to detach from those more immature ways of viewing life. And it is like starting out fresh and new. And then we face our fears about stepping out of our comfort zone to go to that next phase of life. And I believe we're meant to go through that throughout our life. That's how we grow to our full potential. But sometimes we can get in relationships with people and maybe their truth is, because we have free will, we all can have our own philosophy of life of what makes us happy. Their philosophy of life could be like, no, I always want to live my life like this. I got to a certain stage in life and I'm good. No more transformation for me. No more stepping out of my comfort zone. No more facing my fears. This is how I like to live my life. In my Virgo energy, in a more worldly, shadowy way, is my long-term goal is to either make my life more about me, indulging in these things of the world, or to have like status and image and power. And if I have those things, I'm good. I might like to make my life more about me or the world. I don't want to maybe high vibe Leo energy, shine my authentic light in the world, or step outside of societal norms to bring needed change to the world, or be even more authentically myself. I like to conform to the world. I'm good. And then it can cause us all this emotional confusion and everything because we thought we were maybe in relationships with other people that would detach from some old ways of viewing life and viewing relationships. And we thought they would kind of grow and mature and move forward with us. But some people are like, no, I'm not doing that. You can go, and eventually, kind of when we get a relationship kind of is more mismatched than it was matched, kind of on the same page, now not on the same page, both people could want to get out of the friendship or relationship because we all like to hang out with people who are on the same page as us. And if they still want to live their life at whatever stage of life we had all been at and the way we viewed life, and they're still happy living life that way, well, they want to hang out with people who still want to live their life like that, and the other people might want to live their life differently, do different things, no longer want to indulge in certain things, just don't view life the same way. They're ready to move forward in life differently. So then we go to the top row, and we have the fox, Scorpio energy again, the journey, the snowflake, the unlocking, fulfillment, the trumpet, and the letter. So the fox can talk about the fears we have about moving forward, because high vibe Scorpio is about it's emotional water sign energy, and it's kind of like riding the roller coaster of life. We are emotionally complex human beings. Some people don't want to ride the roller coaster of life emotionally. I'm okay over here. I might like to keep my emotions kind of more buried beneath the surface because they are confusing, and I don't really like to connect in with them that much. And if that means I do have more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships, maybe kind of emotionally, you know, they're not ready to go on the bigger roller coaster. But other people are, because maybe they have more practice dealing with their emotions and working through the confusion of them, and they are ready to kind of emotionally have more deep, meaningful relationships than they could have been having before. So, in the Scorpio energy, they're kind of working through their emotional confusion of stepping out of their comfort zone to move forward in life differently on this journey. And then we have the Aquarius snowflake card, also in tarot represented by the star card. And it's kind of looking at life from the bigger picture, not being so caught up in the things of the world and or just about ourselves, or it's putting life in perspective in the big picture, and what are my dreams and what are my aspirations. And I'm probably going to live 80 years. Do I want this to be what my life is about? Or do I think there's more to life than just the way I've been living it? And do I want to kind of grow to my full potential? And can I put life in perspective that if I'm going to live 80 years, I might not have everything I want right now, but do I believe in my Virgo energy? If I keep putting in work and effort to bring that dream into reality, and I invest my time, energy, and effort into things that I think are aligned with my truth, and that's how we manifest our life. What thoughts do we sit in? What emotions do we sit in? Who and what do we invest our time, energy, and effort into? And high vibe energy is that, it takes work and effort to grow an abundant life. Some people could think, I'll just not put in the work and effort. Maybe I'll just get in a relationship with someone who seems either abundant in love and I don't have to become abundant in love because maybe they're abundant in love and they'll just kind of indulge me in a relationship. Or maybe I can marry someone who has status or image and power and I don't have to put in work and effort to have my own dream and use my own unique talent, skills, and interests to have those things. But high vibe people keep things in perspective and they have a dream and they don't kind of want to settle for just a superficial, shallow life or be in relationships with people who could be immature, people who could be stubborn, people who could be manipulative or bossy or controlling or indulge in a relationship but is kind of more of an illusion or try to emotionally confuse us about the truth, because high vibe energy is about truth and love, justice, fairness, character, integrity, and treating each other the way you like to be treated, and being more independent, aligned with your more hopeful, believing, loving nature, having self-discipline, so you're not indulging in your more immature nature. And some people are like, I'm not willing to do that. You know, the key in Leo energy is to temper your ego. You know, in order to move forward in life, the truth sets you free. You have to even be willing to admit that maybe I do have lessons learned. Maybe I do have some kind of slightly shadowy ways of being. And some people don't want to acknowledge the truth of that. And they could have shadowy traits and ways of being, and they don't want to see the truth of it. And they might not want to temper their ego. Shadowy energy is that a relationship is kind of out of balance. Some people can be a little bit more about themselves and think people should defer to them in a relationship. It's not about equal give and take. And that's not my philosophy of life. I don't think I should have to temper my ego. If I'm bossy, stubborn, immature, manipulative, that's how I operate in the world. I don't want to change any of it. It's like, okay, other people end up seeing the truth of it. There can be a lot of things we like about some people in our life, and that's why we got in a relationship with them. And it could have went really good for a long time until it did get to be, or maybe they needed to temper their ego a little bit, or their fears, or some other kind of shadowy trait or characteristic, or quit being more emotionally and superficial and invest in a more deep, meaningful relationship and invest authentically. High vibe Leo is being in life-giving energy where you are not hiding behind your more defensive egoic nature. So whatever the stumbling block is, they don't want to figure out why that is a stumbling block for them. You know, you have to even be inspired to want to see the truth. And some people don't. I'm good. You can leave. I'll go find someone else to get in a relationship with. Because I think loving people offer love and encouragement and inspiration to the people in their life to move forward with them. And eventually we've got to see the truth that they were motivated and inspired to live life differently, look at life differently, be more authentic, be more loving, be more just, be more fair, whatever they would. And eventually, even though it can be scary, I'm going to go on this journey because I have a dream. And I've already been in that workplace friendship or relationship. And I know their idea of the dream life and dream relationship isn't my idea of the dream life and dream relationship. So then we have the unlocking and the fulfillment card, kind of like Pisces energy. It kind of reminds me of a Nine of Cups card of what do I find emotionally fulfilling? What lessons have I learned in life about what kind of people do I like to hang around with? What kind of people do I not like to hang around with? What are the things that make me feel happy within myself? And then high vibe Nine of Cups of the fulfillment card is learning to give yourself love to fill your own cup emotionally instead of being in more codependent energy, looking to other people to love me. That's unlocking the key. And then over here is Gemini, the letter card, that I do have this dualistic nature. I can make my life being more codependent, or in my Gemini energy, I can choose to love myself and fill my own cup emotionally. And then we have the trumpet card there, which is represented by the fire signs: Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is about higher learning and education. Life's an adventure to be lived. Aries, making good decisions in your own life. Leo, being inspired by truth and love, and to live your authentic life. I don't want to hide behind my ego. I don't want to hide behind my fears and my insecurities. Making my life just about these things of the world had my life kind of tipped out of balance, where my hopeful, believing like inner child nature was being neglected. And I need to learn to love me. And I need to be inspired by truth and love to live my authentic life. And it's more, balance is, yes, I want these things of the world, but I also am not willing to sacrifice my dreams of what would really motivate and inspire me just to have these things of the world. I want just and fair and balanced and loving and authentic relationships. And some people are willing to sacrifice all of that. I want these things of the world. I am sure if I indulge in these things of the world, or have a certain status or image or enough money, that'll make me happy. And I would say, if that's their truth, it might make them happy. But for a lot of people, they want a balance. I want these things, but I'm not willing to make that the most important thing. I want love to be the most important thing, and we put in work and effort to have stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things in life. But it has to be with people that I love, people who love me, not people who are indulging me or I'm having to indulge them just to have these things of the world. I want to be in relationships with people who really want to be in a relationship with me, and that I really want to be in a relationship with. And kind of in your fire sign energy of being bold and brave enough to not give up your dreams, to make those things of the world more important. So let's go see what is coming up for people who harness some high vibe Virgo energy. And then as people do this work within themselves, if some other relationships didn't work out the way we wanted, because we kind of found out we were not on the same page, then when we're ready, that's when we could communicate to other people that we're ready to have a new beginning. But until we kind of do this work within ourselves, which is kind of the best policy probably, make sure we've worked through all that emotional confusion so that we really are emotionally detached from the past and ready to have that new beginning. What's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Virgo energy that they might not see coming? The Seven of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. Why? Because of the Tower. So the Seven of Cups comes after the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about reconciling ourselves with the past, coming to like a place of peace and balance about it. I accept that some of the people in my life maybe weren't very loving, very nurturing, very just or fair, or more caught up in the world, or more caught up in themselves, or whatever. And I accept the truth of it. They are where they're at. We view life differently. I've come to a place of peace about it. And I have offered love to it. And because love is the answer, it sets us free to go live our life differently. And you're ready to have this new beginning. If we add the one Ace of Cups, kind of seeing the truth is it's love. I'm going to offer love to the situation so that I can make peace with the past, and then I can have this brand new beginning. Why? Because you saw the truth. The Tower talks about seeing the truth of a foundation. And if you want to build a stable foundation, it has to be built on truth and love and justice and fairness, character, integrity. We can have love for people, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you because you're not, I don't maybe feel like you act with character and integrity. I don't think you're just and fair. I think you're maybe manipulative or egotistical or have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. Your idea of what it means to be in a relationship is different than my idea of what it means to be in a relationship. What you find emotionally fulfilling in life is not what I find emotionally fulfilling in life. And I just see we operate from a different foundation. And because of that, you're able to let it go, and you're no longer in illusion about certain people. There was certain people in your life that you thought were on the same page as you, and some people moving forward in your life are on that same page as you, and all of you are going to move forward in life differently because you learn the lesson you were meant to learn from a certain way of viewing life or living life, and that's, you've seen through the illusion of it. Some of the things that used to manipulate you before don't manipulate you anymore. They're no longer a truth, some truth and way of viewing life that you used to think was true, which could be all sorts of things. Don't I have to live my life this way? Don't I have to wear certain clothes or look a certain way in order for people to like me or whatever? It's like, how about I just live my authentic life, treating other people the way I like to be treated, treat them with love and kindness and respect. And, some people are going to like me, some people aren't. If I got to wear certain clothes or look a certain way or kiss their, no, I'm not interested. I'm going to go live my authentic life. Who wants to move forward with me in this way? And I think as you keep moving forward in that way, there is going to be other people in the world that see that you're kind of the real deal. You're not trying to emotionally confuse people about the truth of who you are. You're not trying to manipulate and deceive people or control people. You really are being authentic and inspired by truth and love, and other people see the truth of that, and that could make them get out of some of their fears and defensiveness or whatever to have that new beginning with you. And it could be kind of shocking. You could have some kind of shadowy people in your life, and sometimes some shadowy people always think like, I don't know, they have control over you. Like, I'm going to do this and this and this, and they're going to be really confused. And I bet they're going to keep staying focused on me because I could know they love me and have love for me. But I'm going to do all these other things, kind of indulging in whatever. And I bet they're going to keep sitting there wanting to invest in me. And while they were kind of playing games, other people were doing this healing work. But sometimes when we're in our shadowy energy of ego and being full of ourselves or thinking we're God's gift to people, what they don't realize, other people are doing this work within themselves. And then they're shocked when those people aren't all caught up in them or emotionally confused about them or heartbroken about them or whatever. It's like, shit, they moved on? What? They're having a new beginning? What? They freed themselves? They're not in their ego about me? They're not still sad or mad or jealous or envious or whatever? No, they moved on in truth and love. It's like, oh shit. And then they realized the only person that they were really ultimately deceiving and manipulating was themselves. They had the opportunity in relationships with some people to be truthful and honest and authentic and just and fair, and they made the free will choice. No, I don't have to do that. I don't want my more authentic, loving nature to come out in the world. Instead, I'm going to try to use these manipulation tactics. In my philosophy of life, I'm going to operate from my ego, and I'm going to create an illusion to try to deceive and manipulate people. But some of them didn't realize they were dealing with someone who has some hope and faith and belief and love. And that person did this work within themselves, that instead of staying in an unstable foundation where people weren't acting in character and integrity, letting go of their dreams to stay in a relationship with someone like that, They saw through the illusion and the temptation of these things of the world and their want to be in a relationship and seeing that someone was trying to manipulate the love that they had for them. And they saw that wasn't someone they wanted to be in a relationship with anymore. And they no longer have illusions about the truth of who that person is because they showed them they didn't make the free will choice to do truth and love and justice and fairness. And they tried to manipulate or control or whatever, and they moved on. And now some of these people could be kind of conflicted because they also could have had love for those people. They just weren't willing to be more just and fair or open or honest and loving because they were deceived by their more emotionally immature nature. And that's what happens sometimes when we get in a mismatched relationship. Other people have tempered their ego. They get out of their ego to be truthful and honest and loving and encouraging. But the other people are like, they haven't learned some of those lessons yet. So their default can be, I'm going to try to manipulate you. I'm going to try to control you. And that's when other people see the truth and then they decide to leave. What's coming up for some of the people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Virgo energy that they might not see coming? Okay. The Two of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords because of the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords. If somebody's been juggling kind of a more worldly, shadowy person, like, I want to maybe be in the relationship, like, I want to invest in a relationship with you because it seems like it makes practical, logical sense, and this is just and fair, and we should just keep juggling the truth. Let's not really do love. Let's like create the illusion of love. We could like each other. We could like each other's company. We could have a lot of things in common. We just won't ever really be more authentic and vulnerable in the relationship. So it's more like the illusion of love than actually an authentic, deep, meaningful relationship. And eventually other people see the truth. You don't really authentically invest in a relationship. And so in my Two of Pentacles, I'm going to pick up my investment in you. And I am going to maintain my balance and keep my options open. And I'm going to speak my truth. And I'm going to invest in truth and justice and fairness and love. And you want to invest in living more from your defensive nature. I view the King of Swords as can be people's like self-protective nature. We can get in a relationship, but we cannot authentically, emotionally invest in them at a deep, meaningful level. We could get hurt doing that. So let's be in the relationship and just kind of create the illusion it's love, but not really authentically invest. And other people are saying, I'm done. I have seen the truth. And I'm going to invest in my truth. What you think is just and fair is different than what I think is just and fair. And so they're going to have some people be defensive to them, and those people are going to detach from them. And some of these people never saw that coming. Because again, they could know that some of the people in their life would like to be in relationships with them. But people aren't going to keep investing in someone if they keep being emotionally shallow, superficial, don't want to be more authentic, don't want to speak the truth, don't really want to be just and fair. It's more about what they think is just and fair, maybe being stubborn, maybe being full of themselves. You know, eventually people are going to leave, and they didn't see that coming. Another thing they don't see coming is they might end up in a relationship with someone who's more like themselves. Because people who've learned more lessons in life are going to detach from them. And the people who might stay in a relationship with them are other people who might be defensive to the truth and being just and fair too. Or their truth is, I'm more about these things of the world. I want to go indulge in those things of the world like you. Or I also make my life more about money and materialism and status and image. You won't require me to grow and heal and mature myself and do love. Nope, I don't do that either. Perfect. We're on the same page. Let's both of us be defensive to the truth. Let's both be defensive to learning lessons in life. Let's both be defensive to being just and fair and honest and authentic and loving in a relationship. Let's just juggle the fact that we're in a relationship and it's more about this makes practical, logical sense. This looks very victorious, and we'll just stay in the relationship because of that reason. And if that's how they want to live their life, that's their choice. But other people aren't willing to settle for a relationship that makes practical, logical sense. Living more from their mind than their heart. High vibe people want deep, meaningful, authentic, loving relationships. And they're going to communicate and have new beginnings with people who they think are on the same page. Let's go ask what the letter's about. The communication. The Strength card, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Cups, because of the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. High vibe people are tempering their ego. To be in relationships, Leo, Taurus, and Pisces energy. Harnessing these energies in a high vibe way, they've tempered their more worldly egoic nature. They do want to be in workplaces, friendships, and relationships with people, which is what Taurus can represent. But only with people who want to move forward in love. And people who are emotionally independent of this illusion about what it means to be in a relationship. It's supposed to be about people in high vibe Aries, high vibe Aquarius, where people are making good decisions in their own life because they have learned all these lessons in life and they've looked at life from a higher perspective and they believe in their dreams. And the people that are moving forward with them are people that have also learned those lessons. If I think that I can get in a relationship, whether it's a friend, family member, and that I'm under this illusion that it's kind of more about me and me being able to be defensive or self-centered or egotistical or bossy or controlling, those people are going to leave. And everybody has learned those lessons. If I think these people are people that my dreams can come into reality with, because they do make good decisions in their own life, they are stable, grounded, mature people who are loving, yeah, I'm going to temper my ego to keep moving forward with those people because those are people that have character and integrity and I want to be in a relationship with them. So you're communicating to people that you're moving forward in life, that you've learned these lessons, high vibe Emperor and Aries energy, kind of like the trumpet card, is that you're no longer letting your heart or your worldly nature or your mind or your passionate creative nature run your life. You're taking all of those aspects of self into consideration because the Emperor harnesses all four kings. I have let 1, 2, 3 aspects of myself run my life. Not anymore because they're all important. So now, and in tarot we have the pages, we have the knights, we have the kings and queens, then we have the emperor and empress, which the empress is about love and loving yourself and being balanced within yourself. And because of that, you make good decisions in your life and you also make good decisions in relationships. And just like you're doing that moving forward, other people will communicate with you that they want to be in relationships with you. And you're just going to listen to your intuition about who really is who they say they are. Because there's going to be other shadowy people in the world or worldly focused people who want to be in a relationship with you. But it could be more like, oh, you look like a shining star. Ooh, it would make me look like I'm a boss. Ooh, it would make me look like I'm a shining star. And you're going to listen to your intuition. And the trumpet card kind of seems like a judgment call. There might be people who think they're the key to indulging in a relationship with you. And I think you're going to speak your truth about, the lessons you've learned in life and how you plan to move forward in your life. And that might be enough to make some move away. It's like, oh shit. I really wanted to have that high honor of indulging in a relationship. I was just hoping they hadn't seen the truth about immature people like me. But you did see the truth. So then that'll blow up because you're not as naive and gullible about the fact that there are people like that in the world, where before you could have been much more naive and gullible and you thought if people were in a relationship with loving people, of course they'd choose love. It's like, no, some people will never choose love. They could get hurt doing that. They just want to indulge in the relationship and kind of manipulate you. And those people will see that you're not an illusion about people like them anymore, or people who are like that. And you'll keep moving forward. And the people in your life that have tempered their ego and have learned these same lessons are people you'll move forward with. And so then some of these people will have to go back to go get in a relationship, maybe with someone who kind of juggles them, because they kind of juggle, which can be, I try to present myself as being more stable, grounded, and emotionally mature than I am. But a lot of times people don't find that out till much later in the relationship. But you already know about people like that, and you listen to your intuition about people and get to know them to find out what drives and motivates them, what their dreams are. And they are maybe going to have to go be in a relationship with someone who's just like them, who also juggles, pretends to be a high vibe, more emotionally mature person than they are, and who doesn't really want to invest in love either. And then we have a King of Pentacles and a King of Swords maybe in a relationship, because they both are more about the world and living from their defensive nature. And that's when they could realize that, gee, I didn't think this is how it was going to turn out. But when you're not being authentic and honest and just and fair, to think that you're going to be able to stay in relationships with people who are, you were kind of deceiving yourself. You had some immature ways of viewing life. And so then the people they end up being in a relationship with is probably just people like them. And that is a just and fair relationship. Justice has been served. So there you go, Virgo energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.